Let's now move on to the joints between column and beam. For this, we will switch to the sheet RC02. First, I want to crank the two longitudinal bars of the column here in the section number 2. To do this, we explode these two bars. I choose the right rebar set and we enter the sketch mode. The usual Revit functions are available for sketching. We intersect these two segments and we are actually already done. Of course, an experienced designer would have already used cranked rebars right from the beginning and avoided this work step. But there are often unforeseen changes. We can set the desired offset here using the segment length parameter D. I will choose 35 millimeters. And let's switch to the top view to rotate our bars towards the center of the column. To do this, we change the layout rule to single and rotate the rebar around this point by 45 degrees. We can delete the rebar set here on the left side, and I will mirror our existing rebars here horizontally and the first one, and I will mirror both together vertically. Although the rebar shape updates automatically, if a rebar set is deleted or, as it happened, the bending shape is changed, the shape detail is also deleted and needs to be created again. A good moment for the Without Shape Detail tool, which hides all the rebar sets that already have a shape detail. Now we can comfortably add the two missing shape details. I would like to remind you once again to use the Shift key for orthogonal placement. Let's also update all of our shape details in the view. To do that, we click on All Shape Details. Now we either adjust our shapes here as desired, or we can also delete this drafting view in the project browser and let the program regenerate the entire arrangement. So let's delete it here. So depending on how much you have already adjusted, one or the other way may be the better one. Let's move on to the connection bars in the corner joints and switch to the beam sheet RC03. We have already learned all the input methods required for this joint. I will not explain in detail every click anymore, but we will go through the rough steps together once again. We start with the horizontally crossing stirrups between our beams. I choose the beam reinforcement and the bending shape 21x, the far cover reference, layout rule fixed number with 4 bars. Now we rotate the stirrup and place it with a click. The stirrup is still too long and too wide, so we adjust the parameters A to 600 millimeters and B to 180 millimeters. And now we move our stirrup 1 centimeter to the right. For the second direction, in the other beam, we rotate the rebar set. Activate as a copy around the center of the column by 90 degrees. The next step here in the side view would be to align our stirrups vertically, either by using the shape handles or the rebar constraints. Please create one stirrup at the top of the slope of the ceiling. We also need two vertical stirrups in the corners, as well as two connecting bars at our columns. We can create them here in the top view, for example, using the placement method with 2 points and a quantity of 2, and place them. And we can also rotate them as often as needed by clicking the spacebar. At this point, I would like to take a closer look at the final project with you, which you can also download from the video description. I will briefly hide the slab reinforcement using our filter. And now we see our rebars again. The sloped one in the side beam, the two vertical ones, and so on. Please remember to copy or mirror the rebars to the corners to get the correct number of bars. Also, pay attention to the correct sheet assignment, which we can easily check using these color filters. A look at the detailed sheet here in the final project will surely help you with your exercises. With that, we have reached the end of this introductory series, and keep in mind that we have only covered the basic functionalities of sophistic reinforcement. For further topics, you can find corresponding feature and workflow videos. In this sense, enjoy Revit and sophistic reinforcement.